this is how to get into your own mind and really evaluate the person you are. In a previous video, I mentioned, ChatGPT away, telling it all of the problems you think you have, even if they're not really problems. And this is not to label yourself with anything or say you are this way and there's no way you can change it. This is just to get it all on paper. And ChatGPT is great because it gives you feedback and it analyzes things, even though it might not be 100% accurate. It like gives you a different perspective. And especially if you don't have anyone in your life that you're comfortable with just talking to like this and actually saying your problems or going to a therapist. I didn't really do those things. But ChatGPT was great. Also, it helps just to keep it private if that's your thing. I liked it. And it's so convenient, easy, any time of the day. You're not bothering anyone, and it's just helping yourself. But how to really get inside your own mind and look at yourself more than just the skin and flesh and bones you are, and see who you really are on the inside. Who's that soul that's occupying your body? And this just comes from asking yourself the right questions to of comes down to not being afraid of discomfort and being uncomfortable with yourself. And it requires you to lose all ego, lose that perception of yourself that you thought you were in the world, that you thought other people viewed you as, that you thought made you super great, that you thought made you the man. And especially, with everything that's gone on, you think it's, especially as a guy, you think it's kind of feminine. You're like, it's kind of like a girl's way thing. I'm a man. I don't gotta worry about emotion and all that. That's what I thought for a long time, but it just got so horrible and not fulfilling, not enjoyable life that kind of just broke out. And one day I just got ChatGPT on and just started typing away. But first of all, that helps on just seeing yourself in a different perspective, getting everything jotted down on a single format, on a single file. And the cool thing about ChatGPT is it continues to update that, and then it connects dots in the past. Oh, you said you were this in the past, and then this and this and this. But once you start just being free, not being scared of being judged, not being worried about what this makes you in this physical world we see that is not going to exist one day. The sun's going to blow up in 5 billion years. Once you get that fear out of it and you realize whatever you believe in spiritually, believe in God, that we're all divine from beings of God, and we're nothing more. We're not special. We're not great. We just have the ability to do these things because we're blessed with life. And even being on this camera talking to you is I'm pretty grateful for it. On this world that will one day be gone, with this bench that I'm sitting on that will one day be gone, with that tree right there that will one day be gone. But just getting yourself out of this physical world that we see and seeing it from an inside interior view, spiritual view of yourself. So once you see the world differently, you get real with yourself. You ask yourself the real hard, tough questions. I kind of unreveal reveal all your fears and your doubts and your limiting beliefs. And this goes with losing ego. You kind of got to say, hey, I actually am kind of a diva. Hey, I actually am a complete whiner. Or hey, I'm a fucking loser. Look what I'm doing. I'm fucking been smoking weed the last 5 years, eating shit food, telling myself that I'm doing this and that. So once you get real with yourself, that solves a lot of things. But then you gotta dive deeper into yourself. So once you realize the surface level problems, like I described in this last video, once you realize these surface level problems of, okay, yeah, I do seek a lot of pleasure through video games and food, and I am not so focused on my career because I'm distracted by woman. Because once you reveal those things, it's like, okay, now I have something to work with. Let's go a little deeper. Why am I afraid of going after my career? So obviously I haven't been going after it. I've replaced it with cheap things to pleasure me in the meantime. But why am I really afraid of going out chasing after my career? And then that allows you to go deeper into your spirit, into your level of thoughts. Then you figure out why you're actually scared. You're afraid of failing. Or I just use that example because it's easy and everybody understands it. But it's probably a lot more complex in your case. But you dive deeper by just asking yourself questions. Okay, when did that thought or that fear first originate from? When's my earliest moment that I felt that feeling that was so bad to the point where I put it inside of me and I kept it there, and I put newspaper over the spilled milk by doing a lot of other things to not feel that. So then you dive deeper into yourself, and then you realize that, okay, I am this way, and these are the core real issues. And then at that point, it's how do I address them? Okay, I notice these things about myself. So let me start by just, I'll say you've been antisocial your whole life. Let me start by just looking at people and smiling. That's super scary. Then you take baby steps until the point where you're completely not antisocial. You're not afraid to go speak to that random person that you find interesting, or you're not afraid to go approach that girl that you find so mesmerizing. But it opens you up and it brings the true you, and your eyes light up a little more. You become more present in the world. You're who you were meant to be in this physical world. Your spirit finally ignites and is led out into the this world to do things that you want to do. That, God, spirituality puts you here to do. And once you really connect with that person, that version of yourself, the world is limitless. You can do whatever you please to do. You can look yourself in the eyes in the mirror and know that you're following your purpose here on this physical world, that you're doing what God put you here to do, that you're being the best possible you that you can possibly be at this moment. And just being able to look at yourself in the eyes and say these things puts you on the track to living the life that you were meant to live. And that all comes from just viewing yourself objectively, losing your ego, tapping into who you really are, deciphering yourself, breaking yourself apart critically, not negatively, but objectively, and just for what it is. And then working on it, then turning things around, then that gets you at baseline, which then allows you to slowly grow based on the things you identified and how you're attacking those problems. But this just gets you on the right track. It doesn't solve everything, but just seeing yourself from that baseline view and who you really truly are internally, opening yourself up to the world, opening yourself to receive the world. That's when you're actually living life. That's when you're not living a lie. That's when you know who you are, you're okay with who you are, and you're after who you are.